Hi everyone, thank you for watching Vida Universo Mente. Today I wanted to talk about myths, the 15 myths that are not true. Myths are more common than we think. We believe so much a myth that we never investigate and we make it true. Well, these 15 myths are the most universal and we consider them as true because they are not. Let's see. We only use 10% of our brain. The truth is that we use all areas of our brain, even when we are resting. It is true that the brain is very plastic and that we do not use everything at once, since some areas are specialized. When we walk, for example, the part focused on motor activity are more active than others. But there is not part of the brain that does nothing and is waiting for us to activate it to have superpowers. Neurons cannot regenerate. Since the 1990s, there is evidence that the brain has a capacity for regeneration, at least in some cases, and even after a cerebral infection, thanks to neurogenesis. One of the hemispheres of the brain is dominant, and that determines whether we are more artistic or more rational. Yes, it is true that there are areas of the brain that are specialized. Language is processed in the left hemispheres, for example, but it's not true that one of the hemispheres dominates over the other. Regardless of how good one is with words, for alcohol keeps you warm. Liquors give a sensation of heat, but alcohol lowers the body temperature, so it is really dangerous to drink alcohol when it is very cold. The same goes for coffee. Cold causes colds. Colds are caused by a virus that travels by air through droplets caused by talking, coughing, or sneezing, not by the cold itself. When it's cold, we spend more time in enclosed spaces and in common areas, school or offices. In addition, in regions with low humidity, the nostrils dry more easily. All these help make it easier to get infected. Since we have five senses, apart from the five traditional senses that Aristotle already cataloged, we have a few more, between 9 or 20, depending on the definition we use. These include proprioception, which allow us to know where the different parts of our body are, temperature sensors, thermoception, pain, nociception, and even the sense of balance. Some point out that the easiest is to divide them into three groups: mechanisms, touch, hearing, or proprioception; chemicals, taste, smell, and internal sense, and light. Stress causes your hair to turn white. Not exactly. Stress causes you to lose your hair and pigment hair is weaker. So they fall out and gray hair stays. That is if you already have gray hair. Streets will leave you along with them. If you don't have gray hair, you run the risk of being bald. Listening to Mozart make us smarter. The famous 1993 experiment, experiment that had a Mozart effect on babies under 3 years all has been repeated several times without success. Which does not mean that listening to Mozart is fine. It will only be missing. 9. Einstein suspended mathematics. We have never bad student and in fact began studying calculus 3 years before the rest of his classmates. It is true that he received help from other mathematicians when developing his work, including Mileva Merrick, his first wife. This is the possible origin of the myth. 10. There were 3 wise men. The Gospels only speak of magicians without indicating how many they were, what they were called, and if they were kings, although there were 3 gifts. The tradition speaks of 2 and sometimes 12 wise men with names like Hermites, Jazdigars, or Basender Carondas. In the 5th century, Pope Leo I left the number in 3, and the following century they were assigned their names. In addition, Balthasar was not black until the end of the Gothic, when it was decided that they would be a white, an Arab, and an African, to suggest the universality of redemption. 11. If we went to space without a suit, we would explode. The way to die in this case is much more boring. The lack of oxygen will make us lose consciousness in just 15 seconds. You cannot catch air and hold your breath. There is no atmospheric pressure, and if you had air in your lungs, it will expand and destroy you. Once unconscious, you will endure a life for a couple of minutes and die from not being able to breathe, from radiation, or probably from a heart attack. You wouldn't die frozen because the vacuum would help keep the heat in you. 12. The sun is yellow. We see it yellow by the atmosphere, but it's actually white. In fact, and as explained by science, astronaut photos are often retouched so that we see it as we are used to. 13. The sun is a fireball. The reaction is nuclear, not chemical. The sun shines, but it is not on fire. Sunflowers follow the sun. They only look at the sun of June. When they need to make the most of the light, when they grow up and mature, they stay in a fixed position, facing east. 15. You can hypnotize a snake with a float. Better not try it. Snakes are deaf, and what calms them in the movement of the instrument. The cobra moves its head not because it is hypnotized, but because it's the way it best observes all moment. So please eliminate of your head uh, the myth that you have right now, because everything in the world is imposed for our impression or our word no from the investigations. So please give me a like, share this video with your friends, and please subscribe to this channel Vida Universo Mente. To the next time